Ever scroll past someone's post and think, why would they share that? I mean, it feels a little too personal, little too much. Well, you're not alone. And no, you don't have to post everything to build trust online. In fact, knowing what not to post might be the smartest strategy of all. Creating consistent, engaging social media content shouldn't feel like rocket science. I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs go from I don't know what to post to I've got this, using simple, easy to implement steps that make a big difference. I'm Maggie Carey, and welcome to the Painless Posting podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about boundaries, the kind that protect your time, your message, and your mental space. Because let's be real, sometimes you see a post and think, whoa, that is a lot. Maybe it's a meltdown in a car, a client horror story, or a TMI confession that makes you do a double take. Or maybe you feel pressure to do the same, to overshare, to be real, to give a behind-the-scenes access even when you don't feel right about it. Some people love the tell-all, spill everything style. I mean, really, reality TV is built on this. But for others, especially business owners juggling personal life and brand image, it can feel like social media is asking for more than we're willing or able to give. So I want to say this up front. You are allowed to have boundaries. This episode is your reminder that you are not a reality TV show. You are not obligated to turn every life event into content, and your business will not crumble because you didn't post during a rough patch. In fact, some of the smartest, most strategic business owners I know are the ones who don't post that kind of personal content at all. And today I'm going to share why that's not only okay, but why it's essential when building trust. There was a time when something major happened in my life, like drop everything, reevaluate your life, cancel a bunch of calls, kind of major. It rearranged my priorities, and it made everything else feel small and insignificant. And while I was in it, processing, coping, focusing on what actually mattered, I wasn't thinking about content. I wasn't thinking about documenting. I wasn't posting. But later, someone asked me, why didn't you share that on social media so people would know? And honestly, because I didn't want to, because I was living it, not broadcasting it. It wasn't about hiding. It was about healing, processing, and being present. And that moment reminded me of why I don't post everything. Just because something happens doesn't mean it belongs in your feed. And for business owners, especially those of us wearing all the hats, it's not only okay to keep parts of your life offline, it's strategic. Now, mind you, I still posted content, and it was content that helped my audience, that always remains my focus and is tied strongly to my brand. But remember, I have posts scheduled a month in advance. So if something happens, major or minor, I have content that's continually scheduled and going out. And that's what I teach my painless posters. Have content ready to go so that if something happens in your business, you're able to focus on that while your social media runs on autopilot. I realize posting about that personal time in my life would have done nothing but invite commentary, questions, and maybe even sympathy that I didn't ask for. That moment taught me this. Boundaries aren't hiding, they're about healing. They are about having control over your story, not letting social media control it for you. Now remember, this was a big event, but even if it was a small event. You are not obligated to give the world every single detail about your life. Your clients, your prospects, your followers are following you for a reason. Is that reason about finding out about that incident in your life, or is it about the problem that you solve and you help them get over? Let's talk about the burnout behind the curtain. I'm going to share with you what I don't post and why. So I don't post about my kids, not because I'm not proud of them. I am very proud of them, but they did not sign up for my business or my audience. And if they're not cool with it, it doesn't go up, period. Next, the chaos. On the days where my desk is a bit messy, I may be having a bad hair day, maybe I'm not feeling well, I don't show that chaos because I know I wouldn't want to see it in someone else's feed. I would get distracted by the chaos. And look, it's not about being fake. It's about being focused and branded and, of course, helping your client what is going to help them and help them learn what you're teaching or sharing. I know this may come as a surprise to you. I am a drama queen. I have a background in theater and I live in a state of drama sometimes, but I don't share drama on my feed, whether it's client red flags, flaky partnerships, or even a financial win that I could brag about. I hold it back. Why, you may ask? Well, because my audience isn't here for a play-by-play of my life. They're here to grow their business. Sure, I share information about my speaking gigs and the conferences I attend because it has a purpose. It shows I'm teaching and I'm learning so I can provide them with the best, most current information that's out there. Now, it's not about being mysterious. It's about keeping the focus on them, not on me. So you're wondering, okay, if I am not sharing this content about my life, I still need to share things that are somewhat personal because people need to get to know you. And how can they get to know you if you don't share a little bit of your life with them? So I've created the post framework for you. This is going to be a filter, almost like a check-in system, and your permission slip. If you're ever unsure about whether you should post something, run it through this post framework. The first step in the post framework is P, protect your peace. A client of mine once shared a super raw post about her burnout and got flooded with DMs, advice, even criticism. It sent her deeper into overwhelm. How did she fix this? Well, now she journals about things first, and then she posts about it later, if ever. She realized you don't owe your audience your unprocessed pain. Give yourself some space to breathe. Protect your peace. The second step in the post framework is O, own your message. This is about alignment. If your brand is about leadership, empowerment, or healing, does this post reflect that, or does it derail it? For example, one of my followers shared a post that had nothing to do with her business, just venting about a rude customer. Totally valid feelings for sure, but it confused her audience. And it also made the audience feel like, oh my gosh, am I that rude customer? Maybe I don't want to support that business now because I'm going to be judged. She took a step back. She reframes those moments as teaching points, and her content is stronger than ever. So remember to own your message. The third step in the post process is S, simplify your strategy. Stick to your content pillars At the end of this episode, I'm going to share with you something that will help you stay consistent with your content pillars. Stick to those content pillars that you actually enjoy creating content for. Don't force yourself to show the crying selfie just because other people do. I get this all the time with TikTok. Do I have to dance on TikTok? No, you don't. And frankly, if you don't know how to dance, don't do it. Okay, let me share with you another story. I had a week where I did not want to show my face. I had a sty in my eye. I couldn't wear makeup. I was a stressed out mess, which was probably what caused the sty in my eye. I leaned into branded graphics and rescheduled evergreen posts. And I was so happy I had recorded video that I could use for content. And I always build out my content a month in advance. So if anything ever comes up, like the sty in my eye, I now have content that I can share without having to worry about not being front facing in my social media. So my audience still heard from me, but I didn't burn out and I still stayed visible. So remember to simplify your strategy. The fourth step in the post framework is T, trust your gut. If you're hovering over that publish button, wondering, is this too much? It probably is. A colleague of mine once created a life update post in the middle of the night. She felt it was something she really needed to share with her audience. It was personal and it was heartbreaking. And she scheduled it to go out in the morning because she felt the morning would get more exposure. Well, she tried to go to sleep. She tossed and turned, trying to get to sleep. And it just was weighing on her. And she said, you know what? I'm going to unschedule it. And she did. She decided to unschedule it and delete it. She realized she was posting out of pressure. Pressure because other people share things like that. And she felt she needed to do the same. She was sharing out of pressure, not purpose. When she finally was ready to share, her message was clearer, calmer, and more helpful to others. And it was filtered because she trusted her gut. It is shortcut time. We're going to use AI to say what you mean without telling all. Let's say you've got something personal on your heart and it feels a little too heavy, a little too soon, and just a little too much. Here's a social media shortcut using AI. Use your favorite AI tool like ChatGPT to help you reframe it into something useful, empowering, and on brand. Try this prompt. I want to write a caption about, give ChatGPT your situation, but I don't want to get too personal. Help me create a message that is encouraging, professional, and still true to my experience and my brand while helping my target audience. The AI tool will come back with some suggestions. Have a conversation with it. Decide if it's giving you what you're looking for or not. And talk with it and tell it, hey, that's still a bit too personal, or is there a way I can mask that with something else? You don't have to spill your soul to connect with your audience. Sometimes hinting at a struggle is all your audience needs to feel seen. So run it back through that filter, post framework, protect your peace, own your message, simplify your strategy, and trust your gut. Your boundaries are not a weakness. They are a strategy. You can build trust without trauma dumping. And yes, you can grow your business without showing every behind the scene mess. And if you're ready to build a social media strategy with content that you do not have to second guess, visit masteryoursocialmedia.com. It's a simple 7-day plan to help you post with clarity, confidence, and connection. You'll get 7 professionally designed Canva template graphics and 7 ready to modify captions that you can plug into your content plan immediately. That's masteryoursocialmedia.com. And if you're enjoying the Painless Posting podcast, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps other business owners discover these shortcuts too. Until next time, keep your posting painless and your engagement powerful.